We're back with Planet Coaster on the console. That's right, I'm playing on the PlayStation 4, which means if you see anything that I build, you can download it once I'm done from the Frontier Workshop if you own a PlayStation. Doesn't matter if it's a PS4 or a PS5, the only difference really is how fast it's going to download. And I think the overall graphics will look better on a PS5, and you should have a larger build limit as well if you're making a custom park or whatever it might be that you're doing. Anyway, my name is Underdog, and we're back doing the Vintage Pack Challenge. You can see my little cute park is here. Why do I never get your notifications anymore? Well, the stream's only been live for like 2 seconds, so maybe they haven't sent out yet. Literally just went live just now. Sometimes it takes a few seconds. There we go. Like, even Stream Elements wasn't ready. But don't worry. We just started. You didn't miss anything. Hello? You haven't missed anything. Literally haven't touched anything. So you can see my little park here. We're only using rides and things that are within the Vintage Pack DLC, besides lighting and nature, obviously. So today, the first thing we're going to do with the $7,400 that I have is we're going to fix this toboggan coaster today because I think this part is too steep. And I just want to kind of mess around with it and fix it. The ride is done and it's making us money. So let's just do a quick little overview of my park. Here's my entrance. And of course we have the first ride, which is just the vintage loop-de-loop. Very basic. And okay, so the good thing about this ride is you can have a pretty good price on it. Like, it's $15 and nobody's complaining about the price. The bad news is only, like, I think 8 people can ride this at a time, which compared to other rides is not a lot. Because it's got 4 seats in each cabin. So I think you can only get 8 people in here, which leads to really long queue times. And that's just, it makes it rough. And like, you can cut down the animation on it, but that's gonna destroy the overall excitement, which is only at like a 3.5. So anyway, we also have priority passes for a lot of the rides. We have bratwurst, we have milkshakes, we have lo mein. We have candy, energy drinks, balloons, gelato. There you go. Some frozen treats for everybody. I think that was it, right? Energy drinks, and what was I gonna add? I was gonna add smoothies. Or something, because somebody wanted me to add smoothies. So I guess we could do that next. Let's just turn on the vintage filter. Yep, smoothies. We're gonna be building on the right side of the park for a while. Over here, I have to, we just added this, round the world ride, which is a vintage, Ferris wheel, kind of. The cool thing about these little egg-shaped capsules that you sit in is that they can actually flip over. So, it's, a little bit more exciting than a normal Ferris wheel. Let's just get it filled up so you can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, these things can just roll around while you're in there. And this can change directions in terms of how it spins around. And it's a fun little classic vintage ride. I don't think I've ridden inside here. Woo! Haha, we're locked in! Ah! Whoa! 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 It does look kind of extreme when you're in there, but so yeah, we have that. We also have the Centrum, which is a really cool ride. Probably my favorite ride in the vintage pack as far as the flat rides go. Obviously, my favorite coaster is this one because it's just so damn cool. And then over here we got the Hurricane, which is just like a fancy Sizzler, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this one. It's just kind of like another version of a already existing ride. Alright, so with this smoothie shop, I'm gonna assign the work roster. I need to push this back just a little bit. There we go. There we go. That should be good though. Yeah, I just need to add decorations here. I guess that's where we'll start off, and then we'll fix that coaster. And I have another coaster to build today too. The Zephyrus, I believe it's called, which is just a really old style, classic wooden coaster. I mean, I know I need more decorations, but I don't know if I should go with like a building here or what to do. Because I've been doing natural for everything else. Does this have... This has this over the... No, it doesn't? Okay. That's over that. That's over that. That's over that. Okay. Alright, I'm just seeing what I did for the other ones. What's up, Nimbo? Or anybody else in chat? How's it going, everybody? Hey, how you going? Did I not put a... I didn't put another bench over here. I need another bench over here. You're sore? Did I ask from what? What does that mean? Ew. Oh, I haven't used this. We gotta use this. It doesn't fit where I want to put it, but, oh, you were working out. Oh, that makes sense. Hanging out at the gym. I don't remember the last time I went to a gym. I work out at home, alone. You know what I mean? I do my katas all by myself, with no help. Do these guys actually sing? They do. I can barely hear them though. I think I might be able to increase the volume here. Let's see. Whoop. It might be under music. It should be under music. Barbershop Quartet. Sandbox is teaching you how to do weights properly. Right. Well, there is a certain way to do it. You can't just pick them up and put them down. It's more complex than that, believe it or not. Alright, so we're just gonna sink these into the ground. Whoop. Da da ba da da da. We're just gonna turn this one towards the queue line so you can hear them when you're in the queue. And there they go, a little barbershop quartet in the vintage pack. Isn't that cute? They're singing the theme song of the game. I should join them. I should join this quartet. More of an outdoor and cardio person. I'm more of a chop blocks of wood in half person. I don't know if that's a thing, but that's what I do. Pretty impressive, right? Alright. Boom. And bam. We gotta find a building to put over here. I need a building, dude. Do we want to go like over the top? I guess you kind of have to sometimes in this game. For things to, you know, work and look good. Alright, let's see. Scenery. Content. Vintage. Buildings. All. We've been using this little hut, and that's great and all. Yeah, I think we have to go for the larger buildings, though. I have to find something that fits, like, right here. That's even larger. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of smaller buildings in this pack. Look at this one, jeez. Oh, I am gonna, you know what, maybe I'll do that after I fix the roller coaster, because the roller coaster's kind of in the way a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on this, put it in testing mode, pause the game. So that way we're not destroying people's lives. And then I'm just going to start from down here and take this apart. This coaster is so cool. These Aces Sky type, these are like toboggan style coasters that, you know, can turn however they want to. I like that it goes up into the curve. Is that still the same? I mean, I can't change the It's still gonna be like a sharp angle, I think. This is tricky. Because there's not a whole lot of like different angles you can do this type of coaster at. Kind of have to go down though. And it takes an extra piece to straighten out. It's a little bit more restrictive than some other type of coasters just because it like has to do certain things before it does other things. I guess the best way I can explain it is you can't just put whatever you want in this type of coaster. You kind of have to build it a certain way. Like, there's still a lot of freedom you can have in the build, but geez. Let's see. Alright, smooth that out. There you go. It like kind of has to flatten out and go straight before it can like curve a different direction. That's just the way it works. I feel like this is too flat here now. But I did want to turn the other way. Not sure about this layout. Let's just test it. We'll see how it goes. Not super excited about it. I did want this to curve back on itself though. So it goes up into the toboggan part, up into the bobsled, turns back down, and then I wanted it to curve the other way, but this is like too long. And I think we're going to be losing a lot of speed there. It's not a very fast coaster. Is there a reason the thing won't start? Why you no work? It's not going. How did I break it? It's literally broken now. The hell did I do? How would that have broken the coaster? I don't... I'm very confused why it's not going. It should just go. Uh-oh. Something wrong has happened. The heck? Oh boy. Why was there a mechanic in the middle of the lake? The hell was that? I think I just ran into a weird glitch. I'm scared. They just passed the game too, what the hell? What did I just do? Okay, so see, this curve is perfect. Need more like that. I wish I could just copy a piece of the coaster and reverse it. That would be incredible. So It's free to do what it wants on these curves. It's still going. Okay. Alright. Hey, hey, hey. It's going. Hey, hey, hey. Let's see if I destroyed my numbers. I mean, the excitement level's not going to be super high. It's actually more exciting somehow. Alright, let's ride it and see how it feels over there. So yeah, this is... Ah, there's a pigeon! This is the Aces Sky vintage style coaster where you're free to turn around. There's no tracks needed. Just sliding around in the wood parts. Oh, it does feel really fast there, actually. Oh, whoa! It's a little bit crazy. Yeah, it does feel pretty fast there. Now, this may take some more editing. It's okay, we have all day to do this. And I don't have too much more to do in terms of, like, completing the park, so it's okay if we spend a lot of time messing around with the coaster. I think we literally have, like, two more flat rides and one more coaster to do. And then we're done with the vintage pack. Let me just double check. Yes, so we have this. Yeah, we literally have one flat ride left, and it's the test flight, and that's gonna go probably probably right here somewhere, I think, and then the other coaster, and that's it. So not a whole lot to do. Oh, and then I almost forgot about Polarity. Polarity is like a people mover. I don't know where I'm gonna put that. I might save that for the next challenge. But it is included in the vintage pack, so technically I have to use it. Well then. Huh. Well, it's like a tour ride is the best way I can explain it. It's here I can show you what it is. It's a transport ride called Polarity. It's just you sit in like cars and they move around really slow. And it has a cool little track design to it too, where you can go back on yourself in weird triangle style, like weird shaped corners, I guess is the best way I would explain it. I think I have to put this back here so that we can like maybe build it around the park. There's not a lot of edge space, so it's gonna be tricky to get that in. I mean, I could try. There's no harm in trying to get it to go around the entire park, which is kind of what they do. Just think about if you've ever been to Disney, it's just like the Disney people mover. It's more of a transport thing than an actual quote unquote ride. It's like its purpose is to get people from one part of a park to another part. It's not supposed to be exciting or anything. I wonder if I turn. Yeah, banking these things. Sometimes you can't bank these things, or it won't let you. I kind of wonder if I should do a wooden break. And have the rest of this. Yeah, that just feels weird though. If it goes back to the track style in the middle, because it is curving up without banking, and that just feels like that doesn't belong. Yeah, well, you like have to turn before you can bank again, which is really weird. That's just a weird, like, coaster design. I don't know who exactly decided that. This layout isn't terrible now. If I just smooth out banking. See, this needs to be banked more. That's the problem. Because it's going pretty fast right here. So the second I turn and go up, I need probably at least 30. I wonder if that's going... That looks really steep now. What the hell? Maybe I should turn before going up and not go up in the turn, but I mean, that's part of the fun, right? So many decisions to make. Who is tweeting at me? Stop. You're building up a lot of speed right here. So I want to bank. And then it feels like it okay, now it's too slow. Yeah. That somehow slowed it down because it's going back up. I mean, that might be it right there. I just feel like I wish I could bank on the first part of a corner. Because it's, if you're going straight for a long time, that's going to build up speed. Just the momentum of this type of coaster is different than most. See, when it goes from side to side there, I really feel like it needs to bank more. At least on one of the sides. It has to. Okay. That might be it. I fixed it. Woo! It slides so hard. From side to side there. It slides so hard. Oh my god. Ah! I'm trying to stop it from flying out. And somehow I'm making it worse. Oh boy. It's the good news is it's fun to ride, so I don't mind riding it a million times. That part just feels crazy. It feels faster than it actually is, too. I think that's a big part of it, because once this test is done, I'll double check the speed of it. I don't think it's going over 50. There's no way. Let's see. Yeah, max speed is 36. So that's what's happening in this section. Is it's going 36, but it just feels faster. Cuz you're like free and off the track and you know, it's moving. No, it's moving. Look at these buildings. I need to put a building here and you won't let me. I know that the towers work, but I wanted something else besides a tower or an archway. Maybe I could do a shop. If none of these custom building or none of these are working. Because if I put that there, the coaster tracks go through it and it just looks weird. Yes, I could make my own. But I'm not gonna do that. That'll take forever and it's not really worth it. Oh, dang it. Yeah, this style of building just looks weird with coaster supports sticking out of it. Maybe I can just push it back like that. Maybe that'll be okay. Not right up against the path, but then again, I guess it doesn't have to be. Do. Okay. Well, it's something. It's there. Whatever it is. That's what we got. How much is this one? Around the world? Because I just put this down at the end of the last stream. $9. People think it's cheap, too. Let's go up to 11. I think my overall ticket price is like 250. And priority pass, I'm pretty sure was like 9. Actually, I can check that in this. Yeah, priority pass is $9. I can't really push that until we get more rides. So yeah, I guess Polarity is the next thing. So it's under track rides, it's under transport rides, right here. I mean, I kind of have to lift it too. If I want to get this across. Because I don't think I can move, I don't think you can raise the tracks once it gets started. I think these tracks are stationary, I'm pretty sure you can't. Well, yeah, they don't really go up too much. So I might have to raise the station. Just a little bit. Optional lights. I don't know what that means. Oh, there's like canopies for this too, which is really neat. I don't know what does it mean by optional lights? Does that mean in the middle? Like these lights turn on? What does it look like at night? Is that what it means? I don't see any lights on. Eh? Oh, underneath! Oh. I was like, what? The lights are under. Because this is usually like a raised thing. Okay. Yeah, why would I want those off? The hell? Even during the day, those don't look too bad. Yeah, I've never built this this type of ride before, so it's a little bit weird. It has like these weird corner pieces. I'll show you in a second. It has like these dual sections where it can go back on itself, and then it has like these T-junctions in all sorts of ways, and so you can like, I guess, mirror the track. Which is hard to do, apparently. I can't do it. Oh, there we go. Okay, like mirror the track. And yeah, it's kind of like a tour ride through the park. It's just a different style of ride. It's very vintage and very like Disney people mover is kind of the idea. I don't think this can bank much more than 3 degrees either. Yeah, can like barely bank. You're doing surviving Mars tutorials. I'll have fun with that. Surviving Mars is a fantastic game. I really do want to go like around and over the park. Hey, you know what? This might work. I just have to move a couple trees. This is working. As long as I have enough space. That is raised above. I don't know how much I can charge, or if I really want like a second entrance. All joking aside, you seem pretty good at making these parks. It's just playing the game a lot. And also I have, experience in a lot of simulation games. These are kind of my favorite. These are like my favorite things. It's like my favorite games to play are fighting games because you get to like, I don't know, outsmart the other person and it feels very competitive in that 1v1 situation. And I love single player RPGs because I like character development and good character writing. Like, I'm a big Trekkie, and that's what makes Star Trek so fucking good, is the character development and the character writing. Like, each character gets their own A to B path, and for most of the characters, not all of them, but most of them, it's really good. It's really well developed. And it makes perfect sense. And, like, the decisions characters make in a single-player, story-based RPG should make sense. So, like, Witcher, Dragon Age, stuff like that. And then simulation games are a huge thing. I'm not a creative person. Like, I can't paint, I can't draw. I'm not creative in real life. So simulation games allow me to get that creativity out in a way that sometimes will click, sometimes won't. But Planet Coaster has so many tools to like help you build stuff, so I would love to take all the credit, but I mean, I think the game does a good job of like helping you make cool shit. But this is a pretty straightforward park. The only thing I did different with this build is I split the path up, and I'm like trying to spread it out and leave some like empty space in the middle of stuff. Like these spaces I have here, I purposely have them so that the park will be bigger but have less stuff in it. Like, it's the illusion of a really large park, but we don't really have too much going on, because in the vintage pack, there's only like 5 or 6 rides total. So, it's not like I'm going to have a humongous, like, I'm not going to fill up the whole build area here, you know? But it'll seem larger than it really is. You're just horrible at structure in Sims? You just gotta play a lot of it. I mean, at the beginning, I didn't know what I was doing either. Nobody knows what they're doing at the beginning. Like, when you pick up any game, you don't know what you're doing. And then you play it more, or you play the tutorial, and then you figure it out. That's just how most games work. How simulations work. Just play a lot of it, and you'll be better. Like, all the expert builders in this game have thousands of hours. It's not like they just picked it up and were instantly, you know, doing crazy shit. I might put this closer. I feel like, yeah, put this closer to other stuff. I might have another entrance over here, because why not, right? But I guess you could walk from point to point. But that's the point of this. This ride is kind of supposed to be a transport ride to get people from one part to the other. I mean, I could move this stuff here and have an entrance there. Kind of like a train. Just pretend this ride is a train. because that's the purpose that it has. Sims is your jam. Yeah, I'm not good at building in the Sims. That's a whole different skill set. I do kind of love the way the supports are on this ride, though. Like these Y-shaped beams. I'm digging the look of this ride for sure. It's like very obviously the Disney people mover. It's literally what this is. What's up, Thundy? How's it going, dude? We're doing a vintage pack challenge today. So far all I've been doing is the transport ride around. Trying to decide if I want to have another entrance to it. There's a couple places I could put it. I could put it here, in this corner, next to the Centrum. Or I could have it back here, like in between, and try to squeeze it in. But I need an entrance and an exit to each thing, right? So there's not a lot of space to do an entrance and an exit right here. I could try. Definitely have the space back here, too. Like right by the entrance of the park. That might make sense. Just delete this other stuff that's in the way. Do you have to decorate each queue for this type of thing? You did the Iron Horse? Yeah, the Iron Horse is just a train. There's 2 trains in the game. Well, technically 3. One of them is a roller coaster. The other 2 are just transport rides. One's like old school and the other is more modern looking. Oop, 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 oop. Let's just try to do an entrance thing. I mean, that's... Alright, you know what? I have an idea. Well, no, that's not gonna work. Never mind. My idea is not gonna work. Let me just get rid of these trees. Yeah, the Connie Express and the Iron Horse are... Here, I'll show you. So, track rides are every ride that's on a track that's not a coaster. So you've got gondolas, you've got sleigh rides, you've got trackers for theme rides, haunted house rides, classic car rides, boat rides, you name it. Transport rides means moving people from one part of your park to another. And that's the main purpose. So you've got the Connie Express, the Gondola, the Island Adventure, the Land Ahoy, the Polarity, the Skies, and then I believe there's also the monorail. But I don't have it unlocked because we're playing in challenge mode. But I don't need it. So yeah, the Connie Express right here it's just a train. It's like the old school style passenger train. Did I turn this back on? Oh, it broke down. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it's on. Doesn't matter what your name is. Yeah, I played a ton of City Skylines, so I kind of know what I have to do. It's gonna be tough, dude. In terms of making a ride look good, or making a park look good. This is really... guess that's the way it's gonna be. SimCity. SimCity's different though. SimCity's, I guess you can be creative, but it's more like you can kind of just put. It gives you a bunch of pieces that you can put down. Planet Coaster literally just gives you a sandbox with a billion options, and it's like, here you go, have fun. And you're kind of on your own. Like, the tutorial for Planet Coaster is really short, and it teaches you, like, how rides work. But it's not going to make you, like, an incredible builder or anything. Is that too high? And this is going to be tricky. Getting the height down is going to be tricky. Because I think I was at 17 feet. I don't know if I can get back there. It's not locked. It is not locked. Maybe it needs to be locked to the grid. Like, I kind of need to have the platforms raised, but that might be too high, because now I don't know how popular it's going to be, and I don't know if this is going to be enough space for, like, a queue. Roller Coaster Tycoon is more objective-based. No Limits 2? Isn't that really old? I think I know what that is, but I might be picturing something else in my mind. No Limits 2. It's Coaster Simulation. I don't think I've seen this game. This isn't what I was thinking in my mind. I don't think I've seen this game. Is this more based in engineering? It looks like it's more based in engineering. Planet Coaster has like gravity and G's. Like it does have physics in it, but it's pretty lenient about that stuff, right? Planet Coaster's pretty lenient about that. It just lets you build whatever you want. But if you want to build like crazy coasters, I guess Thrill Ride or something like that is probably the best game to play. I guess it depends on what you want to do. There's so many different simulation games. There's too many to talk about, but my favorite ones are the ones like this that just give you a billion options. The more like free sandbox type ones. See, I like this height. I want this height. I think this is 10. Is this 10 feet? I want this height for this. I don't know if I can do that. It's a little bit too high over here. Ah, no, it still says it's 10 feet. Well. Wish me luck, I guess. Can I go back on myself on this type of coaster? Or is that not a thing? Like, why would they give you these double tracks? Just for the weird corners, I guess? Also, should I build a canopy? In a certain section? I don't know where I would do that. I guess over the middle would be cool. Oh. To get this to like... Okay, so what I'm trying to do, if you can tell, is get a canopy part that's parallel to the entrance, but I don't know if that's gonna work. Almost. There we go. That's not correct either. You love how they put this right in here. Did you know this was actually a free edition? With the vintage pack. Like, they just added it in later. I think they either, okay, they did one of two things. They either, like, made it and then forgot about it, or they made the vintage pack and then were like, oh, we should probably put in a people mover and just give it away for free. Because this came... Originally, when this came out on PC and the vintage pack came out, this ride was not included. And then they just added it later. So, that's kind of weird. And also, if you click rides, like track rides, and then if I go click vintage, it's not there. It's literally not listed. It's under base game as if it was just like a free edition, which is kind of interesting to me. Because when you click vintage, we got the Zephyrus and the twist and tussle bobsled coaster. And then I have all these rides here. But for track ride, there's nothing listed. Anyway. My park's running out of money. Look at it go. It's gonna crash! No! Oh, we saved it. It's cool. What does this look like from the entrance? Can you actually see it? I mean, you can see it over you. You don't really notice it from first-person view, which is actually probably better. Like, you see it over. And you're like, oh, something's happening there. Okay, that works. I might stop it, too. You can have, like, a stop-start part for, like, a view. I might stop it here so that you can just get a view of, like, the entrance. That would be cool. It's definitely not a priority, but I would like to have this in the... Wait, can I just have a back and forth? Does it have to be a circuit? Like, can it just be done? Like, if I test it... It has to be a cycle. Well, rip. That's why they have those weird triangle corner parts. That's why. It should just let you go both directions with this ride. Because the front looks exactly like the back. It's the same. It has to be a circuit, okay. Yeah, I guess so. Alright, Round the World is done. We don't have to add much more decoration. It looks completed. And we got smoothies selling, so that's good. I was gonna put another, bratwurst place back here for food. Trying to direct my customers down this direction here. Da 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 da. So yeah, I have all the DLC available for console. And if they ever come out with another DLC for console, it's going to be the movies or the Ghostbuster pack. I would assume that would be what would be next. But we got the good ones already. Like, we got World's Fair. And that's all we really needed. That's all I was ever looking forward to. Although I do like the look of a lot of the vintage stuff. I know I said that a million times, but it kind of feels good to have pieces that are really brightly colored. That just adds more theming options to whatever you might want to do later. I have a bunch of ideas for like future builds that I want to get to eventually. One day. One day! I don't know how popular my lo mein is, because I don't ever see anybody back here eating the noodle. 28 guests this month. Could be higher, I feel like. What about candy? I feel like candy's not popular either. 13 guests. Yeah, that's the problem. Everything else is popular. I'm not gonna queue up for that. $15 for the coaster. That's not a bad price. Look at the priority line. Wow. Wow, everybody had the same idea. Wow. Alright. Achieve a park balance bonus of 40. Obtain overall staff happiness of 100. Ensure no vendor leaves. Let's double check my staff happiness. We're at 94%. Which is really good. I just hired some new people. I think all the vendors are at $90 right now. At least half of them are level 2. This per random... Okay, that's... Let's see. Random level 3 janitor. Maybe we raise the janitors to 80. Big money to clean up. Vendors are all at 90. I only need level 2s. You can't demote somebody in the game, which I think is weird. You can only fire them. So I guess that's the solution if you accidentally overtrain somebody, which could be a problem. You don't want somebody being over-experienced, right? You don't want somebody smarter than you working for you. That sounds like it could be a problem. Okay, I want to finish, that people mover, but also kind of have to have it go around the other rides, and we're missing like 2 rides. So I don't know if I should place those first and then finish that last. But that would make sense. I can't even put the queues down until this thing is done. How silly. Yeah, this is 10 feet. Alright. Well. Ooh. Let's go! I do have the lights on, right? Okay. The whole way. I have lights on all around. So I have a path right here. I was thinking maybe I could get a third entrance. I don't know how many entrances you need to this thing. I guess I can decide that on my own, but... See, this one's at 7 feet, and the other one's at 10 feet. Ugh. I'm just gonna have no queue. There's just gonna be a line for this. Forever. Please. I have to flip this around. There we go. Hey! It definitely won't have a priority queue. I don't think it'll be very popular of a ride anyway. Nah, you know what? Nah. The whole point is to have those cool triangle corners too. Like, what the hell? Why is this going so low? I decided I don't want the other entrance over here. So stop. Why is it going down? It starts like going down from here. Stop that. Yeah, what the hell? I think this is literally just so you can double back and go to where you were. Because I don't know how else you're supposed to do a cool... Like, this piece is... It's so interesting that I want to do something with it, but then I'm like, well, I don't really need to. Do. Do. I've decided that we need another bathroom. This other bathroom has to go in between everything else. Whoop. Like, if you guys think I'm good at Planet Coaster, you need to see what some other people can do, because it's incredible. I'm friends with some people that stream it, and they're 1,000 times better than me. 1,000 times more creative too. One of my friends made a crazy Aztec roller coaster. It themed like Aztec or Mayan or something like that. Goes through like a jungle with traps and stuff. It just looked so cool. Way cooler than anything I could have ever built. And some of the creations on the Frontier Workshop are incredible too. That's why we download it and steal other people's creation. We're just gonna steal what other people did and pretend that I did it. Okay. Well. Ha! Pause the game for a second. Do. Okay. Yes. Right. Okay. Mm-hmm. Need this light. Got a light over here. Surviving Mars has a little bit of creativity to it, but it's more about, I mean, there is planning. There's a lot of planning involved with surviving Mars, for sure. Like, you kind of have to plan out where you're gonna have certain things be. Like, the position of your, like, where you actually place your domes is important. Right, you can't just put them anywhere. I mean, you can put them anywhere, but it's probably not going to be for the best. That game's a bit more strategic in terms of, like, getting the resources you need to survive Mars. That's the point of the game. But I do love it. Absolutely love it. We'll be playing that again on Monday. Mars Mondays here on my stream. It's almost like I have a schedule that people don't pay attention to. They're like, what are you going to play? I'm like, I play the same things on the same days if you guys actually paid any attention at all. The only time I do something random is Smite, and that's just because I have like an extra day to do things random. So sometimes I'll do Smite or Paladins or whatever else I'm feeling like playing. Or I'll double up on Planet Coaster, because you can never have enough Planet Coaster, right? But Planet Coaster is usually Thursdays. So, today is Thursday, which is why we're playing this. Okay, this ride is open, and nobody's talking about the price. I can't increase the price on any of these other rides. I tried. This one just broke down, so that's why the queue is empty. Don't know how high I can put the price on this one. It looks like I can't go too much higher than $11, which sounds right because it's not like an exciting thing. So the next thing we have to do is plan out where I'm gonna have this other flat ride, which is the test flight. It's like a little airplane ride. These things like spin around and actually do go upside down. So this is $1,700. We should have a loan for that. Thanks. Let's decide the entrance is probably going to be that way. Over there. Get a nice little exit here. That way. I think, what does this have by default? 3.3 excitement. Probably won't need too long of a queue. But if I want to sell priority passes, I kinda need to stretch this out, you know? God. Alright. Get out of this grid, dude. That's not even parallel. Parallel's this way, sort of. Well, the entrance is going to be at the corner, right? So that means our priority queue has to go whoop like that. I hate this queue. We're gonna redo it in a second. Hold on. Any load, enable priority. I think that's as close as we can get. Right. Yeah, so about that, we're gonna delete this. And make it better. Do 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 do. There we go. Just a little bit more space. Nothing crazy. Test flight. We're gonna leave it all defaulted. So we can just see what the default actually is. The only thing I'm gonna do to it is add some music. Vintage organ. Theories of an Elder Heart. Sure, why not? Pick that one. I think this has to test. Or, well, we can ride it. This is a fun little ride. I'm in an airplane. I'm doing it. I'm a pilot. Oh god. Did I mention these things like flip upside down? Ah! Yeah, that's a little bit crazy. That's really slow too. Oh god. Flipping upside down slowly is... I don't know about all that. What is the default price on this one? $11.50? Oh damn, this one can go high. Default is $11.50, which means we can make big money on this ride. That's surprising to me, because it's about the same excitement as the other ones. I think Centrum is only like a 3. And this is like priced at $10. I think it's defaulted at like $7.50. So now what I'm going to do is try to bend the track of the people mover around that. From here, please. You know what? It can go over a queue. Look at that. That works. And we have space for a big roller coaster in the back. Which is exactly the plan. Actually, I'm going to have the roller coaster entrance be over here. How much is the Zephyrus? This is $10,000 for this blueprint of Surf Avenue. So this is the style of wooden coaster that you get with the vintage pack. Classic American Cyclone style coaster. Obviously I want to try to build my own once we get enough money to do so. And so I'll put the thing over here. I guess I can go over the queue with the people mover, so it doesn't really matter where I put this exactly. This is automatically raised above the ground. But we're going to raise it even more so I don't run into that glitch, and then I'll bring it down later. I already know what to do. And we're gonna keep that off, and so we know where it's gonna be, and then I'll build a little track for it, and that'll be our park. I just have to decorate and add shops in here, and we'll be good. So let me just fast forward and save the game for a little bit. So yeah, once I have this all done, we'll be returning to Sandbox mode. Have a theme for it. I'm not going to tell you what the theme is. Not going to spoil anything, but it's an interesting theme. I've seen people do it before. I want to try it, so we'll see how it goes. It's a lot different than this. I can tell you that. It's very, very, very different from what we're doing now. So that'll be exciting. And then after this challenge is complete, and that sandbox is complete, which will be a long time from now, the last challenge mode we have to do is for the World's Fair pack, because I've been doing challenge mode for all the DLCs. So with World's Fair, because it's just the shops, like the food and stuff, the rule is we can only use shops from World's Fair. And since there's no drinks, the only drink we can use is like water. I think that's the rule. And I have to have a section of the park for each country represented in World's Fair. So That's gonna be really tough to do. Without Sandbox, that's gonna be tough to do, because it's gonna take a lot of theming to get each country done correctly. So I think we'll be like splitting that up into doing certain countries separately. And I'll have like one ride or one coaster for each country, and then we'll just have a lot of theming in the area. Like, for example, Mexico, right? Because Mexico is included in the World's Fair. So I'll have to pick like a ride, and then we'll use the burrito shop and so on and so forth. So look forward to that someday on the stream eventually. One day. I'm just thinking like what else I actually might not even add anything to this. Might just leave it as is. And then just add trees on the outside. Leave this area blank. Maybe put a tree in here. Boop. And then we gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with this queue. Yeah, about this. Do. I know what I have to do. But the question is, how do I do it? I think that's just making the middle part brighter. This is what my park looks like at night, by the way. Some lighting. I didn't want to go super heavy on the lighting. Most of it's defaulted. I feel like the queue lighting is really minimal too. I wanted it to feel more natural. I don't want a bunch of lights everywhere. I think we're using this for that. Like so. Yesterday I had a Red Bull like for breakfast, or like with my breakfast, I guess, right? And so I drank the Red Bull, and then like after my stream yesterday, my mom dropped off a coffee for me, like a large coffee, and I had forgotten that I drank the Red Bull earlier. So I drank that large coffee, and like within half an hour, I was bouncing off the wall, dude. And I was like, why am I so fucking jittery right now? I was like, a large coffee is a lot of coffee, but it shouldn't be making me feel like this, because my heart was like pumping. My blood was juicing. And I had forgot, and then I was like, oh shit. I had a Red Bull before this. That's not good. That's not good at all. This part looks weird, I don't know. Oops. There you go. Alright, that is completed. That track is completed. It's gonna have to go over that queue there, which is fine, I guess. In front of the coaster in the back. And then I have space here for shops, food and stuff. I kind of like the default, of it being blue. I'm gonna leave everything default for this. Do we need music for it? If you pick music, it's for the whole ride, right? Not just for each station. I guess we have to do the Planet Coaster theme. The Wonderful World of Planet Coaster fireworks mix. Sure. Number of cars. Where's my... Whoop. Huh? The hell's happening? Apparently it only lets me do two trains, 4 cars at 12 miles per hour. With only one stop, and it's right here. This is the stop. Right in the middle. So you can see where the entrance is. Station 2, not 10. And Station 1, not 3. Now connecting the entrances, that's gonna be interesting. I can't even move that. Alright, well. Yeah. Really not a lot of space to be doing anything with the queue here. It's gonna be rough. There's no way I can get a priority. It's just not gonna work. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Okay, we just have to move this. Edit scenery group. No, I just want to move the lamp a couple feet. Ah! Oh, because it's all grouped up. I always forget that this lamp is scenery and not just a lamp. That's my fault. My brain is just thinking, oh, it's a light, so whatever. But it's more than that. It includes the base part, too. Alright, let me try to squeeze this entrance here. Connect the path. No. Okay. Literally ran out of space. There's actually not enough space. Holy cow. Huh. I'm gonna have to move the whole damn balloon. What is this, dude? What is it doing? It's so bad. It's so bad. Holy cow. What? How the it didn't bring this path with it. $250. Super cheap ride. I'm worried about the queue times. Because I can't really build long queues for this. I'm worried about that. That's my only concern. Let's go into regular speed for a second. Yeah, you see this line? You see this line that has me very concerned right now. Huh. Station mode. So if I want to look at the stats to each station, oh, it's gonna be about a 10-minute wait for this. Doesn't sound like a long time, but it is. We'll ride it once I add everything else in. Forgot about these things. I was using these things for something. Hooray. Put some random decorations over here, I guess. Nice little archways that are probably good for main paths. Whoa, dude. Would you like some milkshake? Because there's milkshakes. Oh, speaking of doing things. I have to add another work roster to the left side of the park. And I almost forgot to do that. I think I can just copy the one I already have. That makes it easier. When in doubt, just click copy. Yep. The coaster's in the way, but yeah, that's kind of how that goes. I mean, it looks like dog do there. Just move it over here, I guess. What the hell? Who's breaking stuff? Stop. Why is this broken? So on the left side, we'll have Polarity Station 1, this ride, that thing, this milkshake. I think that's it. For now. Until I add more stuff. Confirm. Okay, so then I have to hire a janitor for the area. Usually I do 2 for each work section, and 2 mechanics for each work section, and 1 security guard, and an extra vendor. That's usually what I do. That's like my staff lineup for each work roster, no matter how many things are there. And I'm out of money, so that's good. Actually, that's not good. That's a bad thing. And we'll just assign all these people I just hired to the right area. Do 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 do. It's okay to have free roaming janitors and mechanics and entertainers and security guards. But I don't need that right now. Speaking of money, now we're gonna be broke for a little bit. Pause. I just got a little cash. Let's see, what do I have for vintage sounds? I don't even know. I think I looked at this list before, but I don't remember. Waves tapping against a pier. How specific. Harborside. Quiet street, no piano. Planes passing. Oh, we could get the. Let me get the plane sound. Near the plane ride. That just makes perfect frickin' sense. Right in the corner of the park here. Where did I move it? What did I do? I lost it. I've lost you. Okay. Right here. Boop. And we're gonna copy it and put one by the exit. Now you won't hear this unless you walk through the park, but the point is, it's there. And we know it's there. Mm-hmm. Do 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 do. Alright, that doesn't look too bad. I don't know how exciting this queue needs to be. I mean, alright. 80%, that's all I needed. And then this should be getting fixed soon. I just hired a mechanic. I don't know where he went. Oh, he's here. Fixing it. Okay. He just got there. So you walk in, and when you go towards the left, past the Hurricane, then you get the People Mover, and the test flight ride is back here. And then you get these milkshakes. For $6. Making sure it's in the right work zone. Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. I lost the lights underneath. I knew I forgot something. I knew I did something wrong. Gotta have these lights. It just looks better with these on. Plus, I don't even think that it's costing me extra money to do that. Because I'm bankrupt and it's letting me do this, so... The lights are free, apparently, on this ride. Which means, I'm assuming that the canopy is free as well. I actually have to go through the whole thing to make sure I didn't miss a part. I don't think so. I think that was it. It does lights underneath the station? How do I get that to happen? Wait, what is the... The station should have a canopy. That makes sense. The station should have a canopy. That way they just stand out a little bit more. And each one should be in its own work roster. How do I do this? Oh, edit track. Click this station. Lights on, canopy on. Piece that together. Open. Station 1 is... should be a full load. Apply. Enable the priority pass, no. Disable. Assign this work roster to the left side. Confirm. Then we back out, then we click it again. It's a lot to do this, but it's going to be worth it, I hope. And then this station, since it's in a different part of the park, I think this one can be in the entrance, because it's close to the entrance. Station 2 is like right near the front of the park. And then so if it breaks down, the mechanic will go to whichever one they need to go to. And that's nice, because you don't even have to build like a station building, really. So you get a nice cover here. These people are facing the wrong way. What a bunch of idiots. That means they're sitting backwards. Okay. I'm excited to ride that later. This one's priced at $11.50. Yeah, this is the one that I was surprised by that. Now I just have to assign my advertising to that. Priority queues include the Hurricane, the Centrum, Ace's Sky Coaster in the middle, Round the World, hello Steve, and Test Flight. So it's five rides with a priority queue, and then once we build the coaster, we'll add that. Because we still have to build the last coaster, and then just add decoration, and we'll be done, pretty much. Hello. Hello, and welcome to the Vintage Pack Challenge, where we play challenge mode using only items in the Vintage Pack. Alright, what's our next challenge? Staff happiness still needs to be at 100. It's at 90. It's always somewhere between 90 and 94 for me. I'm gonna assume that's just because we added a bunch of new things. Looks like some of the vendors are tired. I might have to hire some extra vendors. A lot of the mechanics are tired. I wonder why. They're all doubled up in shifts, too. Did one quit? I'm missing one. Either one quit or I forgot to add a second one to the right side. Doesn't sound like something I would do, though. He must have quit and I just didn't notice the alert. Play him 155. So yeah, I should have 2 in each section now. I don't know why they're all so tired. I need more training. I can't afford it, bro. I'm bankrupt. I guess that's what they want. They feel like they're not smart enough. Well, you know what we do when we're waiting for money? We ride this again because it's really fun. When in doubt, just ride the bobsled coaster, you know? That's a good way to spend your time in the game. Whoa! 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 Yeah, that part feels crazy. That's a little bit extreme. I'll have to mess around with blueprints for this, because I definitely want to make another one of these soon. It's just such a cool type of coaster. I really do love it. How can you not, you know? How can you not? Just so damn cool. Alright, well. I could take out a huge loan. That's always an option. But I don't know if I have a way of paying it off right now. Every dime we have, I need to spend on training my mechanics. That's where my money's gonna go. So I only have one smoothie place. I don't know where I'll put the... I think I have milkshakes over here. Another smoothie over on the left somewhere. Right here. Maybe. How much is this? Doesn't tell me the price. It just says I can't afford it. Yeah, smoothies are $10? Damn. Let's see if my vendor's smart enough to walk right over there. They should be. People are sitting right there. Okay. Do. Ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da-da, da, da. I just need to be making more money. I'll have to increase the price of something. I don't know what. I mean, I know I can't make this higher because then people won't go on it. I've tried. I don't know. 1550. That's as much as I think I can push it. This one I know I can't. Nobody's even on this ride because it's aging. So this ride's not even popular anymore. I don't have the money. I don't. How much? A full refurbish, like 800, and a rebrand is like 780. So I would need money to make more money. You need money to make money. Think of that. Yeah, the reputation of this is dead. Nobody likes this ride anymore. This one's empty. Why is this one empty? This one's like completely empty. Oh my god. No wonder why I'm not making money. Nobody's going on my rides. Have a plan. Let's try the park, the ticket glitch, where we make tickets free for a day. That way it'll get more people in the park, and then we can raise our priority pass to like $10 because we added a ride. 5 rides, $10 for a priority pass. Sounds good. Let me save, and then we'll fast forward for a little bit. And we gotta watch the bottom left corner. Looking at that money, trying to get somewhere around $800 so I can refurbish my ride here. That's what I need. That's what I need to do, because that's going to be the source of my next paycheck right there. I mean, in terms of how I would rate the rides, the Hurricane's like literally one of the worst, in my opinion. It's not like it's boring. It's just not it's not a popular ride when you put it down. No matter how much you advertise it, it's just not. For whatever reason. Planet Coaster just decided it sucks. This one seems okay. The Loop-de-Loop? Yeah, the Loop-de-Loop seems okay. Centrum was good, and now nobody's on it, so I don't know if this is an aging problem or a price problem. I think it might be a little bit of both. Let's make it super cheap. Let's make it like $9 for a little bit. That might help. And then, I mean, my coaster, people think my coaster is cheap at 15, so let's make it 17. Every time you guys say it's cheap, I'll add $2. Around the world is at $11. Let's make it $11.50. And then test flight. Nobody's talking about the price yet, so $12.50. We'll see how that goes. We'll let that sit for a while. It takes a little bit for you to realize how. Oop, hold on. We got people stuck on the path here. Okay. Takes a little bit to realize if that money's working. I'm in the negative again. That didn't help at all. Yeah, where's my other vendor? I definitely had a vendor over here. So confused. I'm not gonna pay you unless I train you. That's how it works here. I trained somebody too much. I don't know who it was. It was like, I think my janitors are all gonna be level 3. It wasn't a janitor. It's like this random person right here. I accidentally clicked the button too many times. But they seem to be doing fine. This person is bored. Can we click on him? You're fired. You've been replaced by a noob. She's better than you. Correct. Sally. Sally's gonna be working for $90, and she's not trained, so she'll have no idea what a bratwurst even is. How long do they stop and start for? Because I didn't have a timer on that. I'm assuming it's like 1 second. Or 3 seconds. I think it's a 3-second default timer. Well, let's find out. Yeah, because 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's probably a 3-second timer. That makes sense though, by default. Or stop and start, like, to get a view of something. And then they stop here. And this is going to be overloaded because there's no room for a queue. The fact that nobody's in the queue for this is hurting me so. That's why I'm losing my money. This is why I'm losing money. This is why. Because all my rides are now aged. And I don't have the money to pay them off. Or fix them. Or update them. So I have to... It sucks, but I have to take out a loan to do this. We're gonna fully rebrand and refurbish. The only way to do it. Rebrand not necessary. You want to bet? Look at it. Nobody's riding it. What do you mean it's not necessary? Yes, it fucking is. Don't tell me what's necessary. If nobody's on the ride, hello. Also, I don't know how expensive I can make Polarity because it's a transport ride, and I don't think I can make it much more expensive than $3. People say it's cheap though. My entrance is free, which didn't seem to help anything. All my rides are old and boring. Doody doody doo. And my coaster just broke down. Yeah, this is where challenge mode comes to bite you in the ass. Because it can, I guess. Well, we have $6,000. I might as well start the Zephyrus. Right? So we have to pretend this is the ground. It's gonna be hard to do. Should I go immediately up? I guess so. 1, 2, 3, 4. These don't have to be huge. We're gonna keep it up, actually. What is the default length? 39? Why can I not get drive tires? Hello? just weird, dude. 1, 2, 3. Maybe that's all we need. I have to remember that this, for the Zephyrus, this type of coaster is pretty, like, the car is pretty long, right? It's at least 3 sections, 3 rows of 4. So... I mean, I know I'm gonna have to lower this again. Why is it... It's all free for me. I need it more restricted. Maybe angle snap needs to be on. Maybe that's my problem. Yeah, there we go. Jeez. That's what it was. So this is supposed to be a cyclone type coaster. So do I just make the turn halfway? I mean, I guess I should, right? I might leave it raised. You know what? It's kind of cool. If the whole thing is way up here. Makes it more interesting for sure. I gotta be careful what I'm doing. Do 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 do. Nah, that's fine. I can just have the entrance queue be like way back here and do some weird stuff. I guess. I know I'm gonna have to bring it down. God dang it. How wide should the turn be? That's the question. I guess. We'll have to mess around with this a lot. I'm really worried about dragging this down and glitching out the game, because whenever you build a coaster underground, Planet Coaster Console Edition hates you immediately for some reason. So I'm not going to do that until we have everything else done. As long as it doesn't go below the station, I guess, then it's fine. Yeah, that doesn't go below the station. Okay. Do. Oh, we're not gonna smooth this out either, by the way. This is the type of coaster that you leave as is. It needs to be bumpy and uncomfortable, and it's like an old wooden coaster that nobody wants to ride because it hurts your butt and gives you splinters. It feels pretty good so far. I think I understand what I want to do with it too. Obviously I'm gonna drop down here and have it curve and go inside like a cyclone that bends in on itself and stuff. That's the type of coaster it's supposed to be. That's what it means to be a cyclone coaster. It means it turns in on itself and has a pretty small footprint overall. Which is kind of what this one is as well. Let's see. Overall happiness, yeah, I don't think we're gonna get that until I have more money. So I can just get rid of that. Achieve a monthly profit of $1,000. I should be over that just with my shops alone, you would think. %20 interest, dude. Alright, this ticket thing, I don't think it's helping. Maybe they fixed it, and they knew it was a bug, and they patched it out. Because it's definitely not... I'm not making more money. What if I allow 25 people into my park at $3 a piece? Will that help me? Children half off. What was that? Security threat! Who stole something? Vandalism. They're breaking things. Now, since we're waiting for money, I guess we'll sit. No. Yeah, I want to face the front. Okay, this is weird. On a ride with my family. That's a nice visual tour of the park. I want to go around again. I want to go around again. Where's the other one? Oh, it's back here. So when... Okay. There's no lights over it. All the lights are underneath. So when you're riding it, you can't really see what's happening. I feel like that they should have put lights in the canopy, but I guess I could do that. I don't have a lot of money. Yeah, okay, whatever. That doesn't really work. This is too bright, I think. Although I guess with the right color I could adjust that. Do 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 do. Like so. And then, what does it look like at night? Yeah, it kind of does look weird, doesn't it? Hmm. Well, maybe I'll only do it for that one because it's the entrance. And we need a bright light at the entrance. Whatever. It's not a big deal. Why is there just a bunch of kids unattended in here? What the hell? Where's your parent? True story, I worked at an amusement park for like 2 years, 2 summers in a row. And, 1 year, a kid got lost and I had to help him find his family. So you're welcome to wherever that kid is. I found your family. You're welcome. It took a couple minutes. It was scary at first, I'm sure. For him. It wasn't scary for me, but... Because I knew I would find them. They weren't too far away. Yeah. Hang on to your kids if you go to an amusement park. Keep them on a leash or something. Make them wear bright colors. I don't know. But don't leave your kid unattended on this ride. What are you, crazy? It's dangerous. It's a dangerous thing. Alright, we have some money. Not too much. Most of it's being used to pay people off, because I have a bunch of loans. But, we can train my mechanic, finally. And that's what we need to worry about. Then the janitors? My job is pretty average. Looks like maybe I just need another one. Could just have like a bunch of free roam janitors. I guess now would be a good time to get like 3 of them. Just going wherever, all over the park. Free roaming it. And they'll clean up all the bathrooms and the mess people make. Vendors. We gotta make my people happy here. I want at least level 2 for all of them. Level 2 experience with the training. That way they know what they're doing. Looks like I might need an extra one for the entrance. Okay. Because once I get the staff down, we won't have to worry about them for a little bit. Okay. I have 38 staff total. 38 people working in the park. We have a little bit of cash to mess around with this coaster. This is gonna go down. Back up. And then curve. Right here. This is the tough part. Because it's gotta be... It's gotta be even. Hoping that we cut through the wood there too. Yeah, I think they updated it so these supports are smart enough to know where the track is, which is good. We can't go lower than the station. This is getting close. We gotta be careful. And that's gonna pretty much be it. Gonna get a big turnaround back here. What the hell is that? Why is it being dumb? Don't know. That looks really stupid. Why is it going up like that? It is the right length. Okay. Well. The only thing we add at the end is a trim brake at what's 3 times 4? That's the math I need to do. I'm just kidding. Actually, I think 12 is perfect. I was thinking about the brake speed on this. Yeah. That should be okay. That's pretty much that's pretty much what we need for a layout too. And before I do anything, we're gonna save because I'm afraid this might crash the game when I do what I'm about to do. So, if the stream randomly ends, it means I broke it. I don't know what else to say, but wish me luck. It worked. It worked. Yeah. Alright. Alright. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty good right there. I just need to flip this around. Waiting for daytime. The coaster stopped, which is bad. That means we're gonna have to fix it. The coaster stopped. It's not supposed to stop. Not sure why it stopped. Why is the entrance not... Please! Entrance and the exit need to be on the same side. Thank you. And actually the exit... Not really sure why it stops here. It stops right here. Which means we either need a bigger hill or something. Or this needs to not go up at the end. Where is it losing speed? Yeah, I don't know. It's really just right here. I don't understand why that would cut it down so much. I think it's because it is an old-fashioned wooden coaster, and they don't gain a lot of speed. So we're just gonna have to back up. Why is this turn? Wait, what? Why is this is definitely not. Okay, well. I think we can complete the circuit once I get the $300 that I need. But until then, I guess we can ride it. Hold on, let me... Yeah, you can interchange this with the already existing style of coaster. And basically that means this is what a monster looks like, which is usually a much larger wooden coaster. This is just exchanging the cars. It doesn't change anything else. So you get the monster, the Gnarler, which is much more modern, and then you get the Zephyrus, which is the old vintage one. And I think... Yeah, I'm not sure if that'll change much. Putting it on 4 separate cars? I don't know. I always wondered if that would, like, affect the speed of the coaster. Because you're going with less weight, right? So there has to be some difference. Because you're not trailing 3 other cars behind you. You're on your own separate thing. Right? So you fill this one up, and then it just goes. Can I put myself in the back seat? Ah! And then it lost the momentum. So obviously that didn't work. Yeah. It does change things. That's kind of interesting, I guess. You can also, I believe, make it longer, or make it a lapping coaster too. So it'll do a whole lap and then come back. Which is something you would never do in challenge mode. Block section makes sense. Lapping coaster? No. You don't do that. Now let's try it with 4 cars. And we're about to pay off that loan, so... we shouldn't have to be waiting too long. Alright. We're about to pay this off. Done. That's really important. Claim reward. Pause. Complete the coaster. Please. All we have to do is connect it. And I might not even, you know what, it's going pretty slow. I might not even have to change anything about it. I'm just going to smooth out this part. And that's it. Everything else is going to just be how it is. Let's ride this bitch. From the front. We got 4 cars behind me. As you can see, I'm in the back now. And now it feels like a really long coaster. Which I guess, yeah, that definitely does change the feeling of it, too. At least from perspective of the rider, which is what really matters. Okay, let's see, what are my numbers looking like on that first test run? That's about what I expected. I don't want to change too much about it, though. This does feel like it needs to be a drop down, though. I might change this part. If I'm gonna change anything, it's gonna be right here. Making this like drop down. Which will speed it up towards the end. Oh, now I can reestablish it. Oh, okay. I couldn't before, but now. Glad we spent a $10,000 loan to get this to be exciting again. Literally what I did. All my rides are just aging. Old. Nobody wants to ride an old ride. They're all old. It's vintage. Shut up. $11.50. Doesn't look like I can change that too much. Nobody's talking about the price. $12.50. Not sure if I can improve that right now. Selling smoothies for $10 a pop might help me. Just like gaining money in this park is gonna be the long struggle. Playing that long game. You know? These crane games might be making me money. I should maybe put another one down if we get enough cash for them. They're pretty cheap. The vintage machines. This one's only getting me 2 customers a month, though. Hey, this person just won! Congratulations. 55% chance, which is really high for those type of machines. That's insanely high. Never that good of a deal. You're welcome. Trying to change my loan payments, man. Trying to finish this off because I just need like a tree here, and then that's done. And we're so close to being finished. So close. Yet so far. Once I get a little bit of cash and I can complete this this coaster, that'll help me a lot. That'll help me a lot. Another coaster in the park will do everything I need. That'll do a lot for me. Is this... Can we put this to... all... or full load, I mean? This should also be... I think the whole ride should count. If I click on Station 1... Yeah, full load. And it should be the same thing over here. That just means that it will let as many people on it as possible before it starts the ride. That's just how you get the biggest crowds through. This one might need to get changed though, since it's not really popular right now. To like halfway. Unless we can pause the game. Should I spend my money on rebranding it? Yes. Yes, I should. And then this we can finish because we have $1,000 out of nowhere. Let's just complete the connection, dude. Yep. Alright, this is the vintage Zephyrus, the wooden coaster that's part of the vintage pack. The numbers on this one should be about the same as they were before. Just a little bit more excitement because I fixed that drop. Okay. So now, all I have to do is connect it. Actually, I want the entrance. I know this is probably bad for the coaster, but I need the entrance on that side. And the exit right here. Don't think there's room to put anything right here. Besides like a decoration or a tree or whatever, which is exactly what I'm gonna do. I can bend that. We'll move that in a second. Hold on. Let me just get the queue down. Do. It only bends so far before you break it. Yep. You could say that about a lot of things. Wait, what are we talking about? And then there's your entrance right there. Okay. I think the park opens at 9. You weren't here for the construction of the Zephyrus, so we can just ride it again really quick. This is just a nice old Cyclone style wooden coaster. Everybody loves these things. Woo! Yeehaw. Pretty straightforward and simple, but it'll make me a lot of money here towards the end of the challenge. And that's kind of what I need it to do. With mountains in the background. Well, that's by default, but I think I will probably add a bunch of hills around because we have space to do stuff in the back. That's off the map. That's just the level that I decided. I think this is called Alpine. This level. So, yeah, I have all this space outside to do whatever I want now. You think you got Taos to do stuff with us? Well, yeah, he plays Smite. What do you mean? I was already playing with him. He doesn't... I think he doesn't realize how good he is. And I keep telling him, and he won't listen to me. We were playing, and he went like 19-1 with King Arthur, dude. It was gross. Did you? Oh, you meant like with you and Casey? Huh. Okay. Okay, you guys play without me. That's fine. So now I just need to put a priority pass back here. I think, right? If we get enough people, we can just play custom games. Yeah, custom games are really fun. There's a certain game mode that I think I have to tell you about. Siege Boss. Siege Boss is, some people call it Raid Boss. Same concept. It's basically 5v1, and the one person gets full build with like unlimited gold, and the other people only get to be level 5. Like they have to, you start, or I think it's the 5 people start from like level 3 and have to build up, versus somebody that's fully leveled and has all the gold. So it's like a 5v1, but the one person is, you know, is like a boss, basically. It's really fun. And there's some Smite gods that with full build are not fun. You would think, you're like, oh, well, starting off that sounds rough. No, because you have to catch up to the other person, and like Boss Guan is I don't think anybody's ever beaten a Boss Guan Yu. I don't think it's actually ever happened. It's crazy. Anyway. The price on the Zephyrus by default is $10, but we're gonna raise it to 12 right away. And this should be on. Yeah, it's on and open. And then I guess this is considered the right side of the map. It's a little bit of a walk for the maintenance guy, but he's gonna have to deal with it, because this is the last ride in the park. And then all we have to do is decorate this queue, add some shops, add some more decorations in the empty spaces back here, and we're good to go. That's pretty much the challenge. That's pretty much it. I think we can pay off a loan too. Done. Yeah. We only have to make like $5,700, so that won't take too long, I don't think. Chow mein chow. Let's get another chow mein food place back here. Right here, it fits perfectly. Chow mein chow 2. So that's the second one. do you still progress in XP? I think you can gain worshippers if you have certain settings, but I'm not sure on XP. Because I feel like that would be a really easy way for people just to level up if they put themselves in a bot game constantly. That would be like a way to smurf, or not smurf, but like that would be a way to rush yourself through to level 30. That feels like it would be kind of cheap. I wouldn't call it cheating, because it's in the game. It's not like you're hacking or anything, but it just feels like a cheap way to gain XP. Because you can do custom games against bots, and that's kind of silly if you could gain XP that way. What was I doing? Oh, assigning. You distracted me. Assigning the staff member to the left side, and I have to train the other people. All my vendors need to be level 2 training. Okay. Looks like I might need to hire another one? Near the entrance? Doesn't matter where we drop him, he'll work. You gotta work for me now. Entrance. There we go. Okay. Candy it is. Candy's the next thing we need. Candy, candy, candy. Sugar. I know it doesn't make a lot of money, but we do need another store back here of some sort to drag people to get over here. Somehow, some way. Should I just put it in between? I guess that's kind of cool. Candy. Sugar Emporium number 2. Add it to the work roster of the right side. Boom. Okay. I don't know who they put in there, but I couldn't click on them. That's fine, whatever. Yeah, I guess I can bend this better, huh? Unless I want to put something in between. It just feels weird doing it this way. Let me just fix that. Whoop. I'm gonna leave that there, though. We're gonna leave it there. Doop-a-doop. Are you still playing Surviving Mars? How's it going? Are you lost yet? I think it's pretty easy to pick up and go. I don't feel like it's a difficult game to learn. I don't think Planet Coaster is difficult to learn. I think building is... Doing custom buildings can be annoying. Yeah. That's about it. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I forgot to put lights on this queue, didn't I? I did. Why didn't you remind me to do that? It's gonna take a while now. Now I have to do it right. I don't know why I paused the game to do this. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. That might be all we need to do, though. I was being pretty minimal with the lights. I don't even know if Polarity really needs it. Like, it would... I mean, I guess. I guess so, but the other one doesn't even have, like... no room. Maybe we could go with a secondary light. Get this out. What else can I do for queue lighting? I'm allowed to use any light. That's the rule. Any lights I need. There's these ones, but they have like signs on them. I don't need a sign for anything. Hate using these ones. Short lamppost it is. Oop. Oop. Alright, well. That worked for that. And do this one. I was kind of enjoying this until I realized that I have to take this apart. It was fun and games until we found out I had to put more effort. The wood's on the inside, right? Did I do it backwards? The janitor is so happy. He freaking better be. This is backwards. Ugh. The whole time. Nobody told me. What's up, Corey? We're almost finished. We have everything done. We just need to add a few more decorations and then we're good to go. So this is the Vintage Pack Challenge Park. We got all the rides and everything. Down and done. What do people think of this? Because this just opened. Alright, we're operating at a loss, but that's okay. Construction's expensive. The day's pretty good. I think most things are going well. We kind of hit a little bump with paying off loans, but that's just part of running a business, I guess. We still owe about $4,700 to the bank. But, we got this cute little people mover that goes from one part of the park to the other. Here we go. This is just a cool way to view the park. So majestic. Yes. Yes, it is. And you stop right here so you can see the entrance. And then you get your second stop here to let people, so you can get off there. And that's like the second entrance. So it's kind of, it acts like a train. It's just a little people mover. And then they go all the way around back here. I was gonna have another like entrance and another stop, but I was like, you know what? It's whatever. So there you go. And then we just made the Zephyrus, which is an old classic wooden coaster in the back of the park. that's it for that one. Okay, so we put chow mein back here. I think it pretty much covers me for food, right? The only other thing I had was energy drinks. I need another energy drink stand back here somewhere. Get your Red Bull or your Monster, whatever you need for energy to stay awake in the park. Because apparently my rides aren't exciting enough on their own to do that. And we do have a space here where I could put balloons. Or just, maybe I'll go with a big scenery building. Have I ever taken a nap on a roller coaster? Yeah, it's kind of like that scene from Mr. Bean. I don't know if you've seen that show, but that's basically me. I feel like I probably could. Not one that goes upside down. That would wake me up. But, I am a sleepy boy, okay? I am quite the sleepy boy. All the time. You're also a sleepy boy? That's interesting. The sleepiest. I don't feel so... What if I fell asleep on stream? Would you guys even notice? Like August. Yeah. Just like him. Speaking of which, I hope he's doing good. Because he doesn't talk to me anymore. Ever since that. He is a mod in the chat. I think I made fun of him for falling asleep in Discord, and since then he's been like ignoring me. I think it pissed him off that I made fun of him for falling asleep. But then I was like, dude, it's funny. And he was like, I wasn't sleeping. I was like, yeah, no, you definitely did. Whoa! Where's my money? What do you mean? I'm broke. What am I supposed to do? Act of vandalism? Excuse me? Don't be breaking my stuff. Do 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 do. Okay. Minimal lighting. How much is this car? Vintage car is $37. What a deal. I wish my car only costs $37. The hell? Yeah, I think everything else is gonna cost a lot of money. How much is this? 77? That's pretty cheap. Is there a limit on space? Yes. Like, you mean on the map or a build limit? Because, yes, on both. You can kind of tell where it is if I zoom out. It's pretty big. It's like, I don't know if you can see the edge is right here. It's hard to see. It's highlighted. Got a corner back here somewhere. Yeah. It's all the way back here. Almost to the where the water is. You got all the space to build. You got a lot of space to build. It's kind of a smaller park, though. Which was the plan all along. There's just a lot of little detail. These are the type of parks I enjoy making. They look better when they're done, too. But for a build limit, okay, so each item you place down counts towards your build limit, and by item, I mean singular piece, like one lamp, or one piece of a wall, or one piece of a fence, or one tree. There is a build limit. Especially because I'm on console, so the build limit is smaller. I'm at 44%. So I could probably build a park maybe twice as large with the same amount of detail if I really wanted to push the game. I think my largest park had like 88% build limit. It was pretty big. It was like a Western themed park. Because the Western theming stuff is some of the best stuff in the game, in my opinion. Do 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 do. All right, all my loans have been paid off. We just completed a challenge, the last one of the stream. Now, we have some space. We just need to put trees down. We're gonna go in order. Trees. Let's do this. Get some here. Get one there. Trees. We're just gonna place these randomly all over the place. Some on the outside. Because we can. And whammy. There we go. Next, we're gonna get some rocks. Put some rocks all over the place. Have you been getting issues with going live notifications? Well, the first thing somebody said today in my stream was, why do I not get your going live notifications anymore? So, I'm gonna assume the answer is yes. Blame Twitch. I go live around noon Eastern every day. By the way, I stream at the same time every day. It's almost like I have a schedule. Isn't that incredible? Isn't that weird? Sometimes I'm a few minutes late, but it's usually around noon my time. I'm not surprised though. It seems to be like an issue for every website ever. Like if you're subscribed to someone, you need to click 4 other buttons in order to get your notifications. Like on YouTube, you have to click the bell, ring the doorknob, turn around in a circle just to get your subscription feed loaded correctly. Ridiculous. Kind of annoying, actually. Sometimes somebody will, like on YouTube, somebody will upload a video, and I won't see it until like a day later. I'm like, what the hell? Where was this? I didn't see this. Alright, now for the flowers. Boop. 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 Scoop. Got it. Did it. Next is this other tree. We're making a whole forest over here, I guess. Can I squeeze this in? It's gonna be close. Don't you forget about me when I go live just because the notification didn't work. Pretty sure those are the lyrics to that song. You turned off smart notifications? Is that notifications that are intelligent? What does that mean? Smart notifications. They like know when you're gonna go live ahead of time? I don't think it's just you, because somebody else that's following me, that's the first thing they said in the stream. Like, Nimble showed up the second I went live, and she was like, I didn't even get a notification. I just knew you were going to stream, so. I guess, I don't know. Maybe it's a Twitch issue. I have no idea what to tell you about it. I have no control over it. If it was up to me, I would just spam you with notifications. Constantly. Like every day. Just to be annoying. I'm live. Did you know I'm live yet? I'm live. Did I mention I'm live? Oh, hey, by the way, I'm actually streaming right now. I didn't know if you guys knew that, but I'm streaming right now. Believe it or not. How's that look? Does that look better? Let's see. And then around, I guess around the edge here, I'm gonna raise up like a big mountain. But I can build that, I can do that off stream, I guess. I don't really need to do it right this second, because that's gonna cost me money too. I was gonna add one more shop. Maybe just the balloons. How much is the balloons? How much for the balloons? My balloon! It flew away! You notice it because of Discord notifications? Yeah, I guess that's what Discord's for now. Discord does the job that Twitch doesn't. Right? I don't know if this is a new employee that it just assigned randomly for this building. I think it is. Hmm. Hmm. We're gonna pretend those are something. Even though they're not. I think that's it. I think we're done. Trying to think if I missed anything. The cool thing is these little these hot air balloons will go up in the air randomly on their own, which is a way of getting guests to know that you are selling balloons in the park. It's a cool little touch. Should double check the price of this, I guess. Polarity is so much cheaper and only a short walk away. 350. That sounds really cheap because it is. Oh, I did forget one thing. Forgot to put the arch. Oh, the hell? What? Excuse me, game. What the hell? Okay, I can find it again. I forgot to put the entrance arch, like an idiot. Now I lost it. But I have this one. It's not the same. It's not the same! Where is it? Is it a piece of a wall? Oh. Wait, how is that not an arch? It is an arch. I need this. Decorative shape. What? It's a decoration? But it's an arch, though. I don't see it. Oh, there it is. It's okay. Oop. Isn't that fun? Ta-da! I think that's it, guys. I think I did it. There's nothing else for me to do in this park. I think that's it. Yeah. We're done. We did it. So I'm just going to put this on the workshop, and if you guys are on PlayStation and you have Planet Coaster, you can download it and play around with the park and destroy everything I just spent 3 hours building. That's another challenge out of the way. Should be profitable too. The only thing I think you could really do there is maybe inflate the price of that last coaster in the back, but not really necessary. Upload a creation. Come on, where did the dang park go? You're just gonna make a bathroom and charge people $5 to use it? I was charging $1. $1 isn't bad. What should we say about made with vintage pack rides and items only? Okay, so next time I play Planet Coaster will be next Thursday. A week from today, we'll be playing on Sandbox. And I'm about to reveal the theme in chat. And I want to see you guys' reactions to what the theme is for my next Sandbox park. It's really out there. And I'm interested to see what you guys think about it. Oh, there's going to be some upside down. The theme for the next Sandbox park starting next week is the moon. No, not Mars. The moon. We're going to try to build a park on the moon. It's going to take a lot of terrain building. You'll find out next week, I guess. Is it actually on the moon or is it just moon themed? You'll have to tune in and find out. It's going to be something. Oh God. I'm gonna break my PlayStation.